We're getting you details of Aryan Khan, who's been given a clean chit by the Narcotics Control Bureau or the NCB in the Cordelia cruise drugs case. He has not been named in the charge sheet that has been filed by the agency in this case. Wankhede, the officer who led the probe, is now left red-faced. NCB Deputy DG has said errors in the first probe. There were errors in the first probe in that it was known that Aryan Khan did not take drugs. The Maharashtra government has asked the competent authority to take appropriate action against former NCB official Sameer Wankhede for his shoddy investigation. Aryan, the son of Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan, was arrested in connection with the Mumbai cruise drugs case early in October. After several court hearings, lots of drama, 26 long days in custody, the Bombay High Court granted him bail on the 28th of October. He was finally out of jail on the 30th.
I'm very relieved, and I'm sure the young man and his father are equally relieved. It was clear to me from day one, when the matter was heard for bail in the High Court, that there was no material against this young man. He was not in possession of any drugs, and there was no reason why he should have been arrested. I think it was a hasty decision in the heat of the moment, but anyway, the truth has prevailed. It's unfortunate that he spent 25 days in jail, but according to me, now the whole chapter should be treated as closed, and one should look to the future in that thing.
We earlier also spoke with the Deputy DG of the Narcotics Control Bureau, Sanjay Singh, who said that the first team carried out a probe that was full of loopholes. He's also pointed out specifically to the loopholes vis-a-vis Aryan Khan. Listen to what he told us.
हमारे इन्वेस्टिगेशन कंप्लीट होने के बाद हमने आउट ऑफ 20 लोग जिनको हमने अरेस्ट किया था इनिशियल इन्वेस्टिगेशन में, उनमें से 20 में से हमने 14 लोगों के खिलाफ हमारे पास प्रमाण हैं और उनके खिलाफ हम चार्जशीट कर रहे हैं। बाकी 6 लोगों के खिलाफ हम चार्जशीट नहीं कर रहे हैं, उनके खिलाफ सबूत नहीं है।
जो 6 लोग हैं उनमें आर्यन खान का भी नाम है, तो क्या माना जाए कि चार्जशीट में या उनके खिलाफ एविडेंस नहीं मिले, क्यों उनको चार्जशीट में नहीं शामिल किया गया?
उनके खिलाफ सफिशिएंट एविडेंस प्रमाण नहीं हमें मिले। हमने उनको ये हमारे फाइंडिंग में उनके खिलाफ सफिशिएंट एविडेंस नहीं मिल पाया, इसलिए हम कंप्लेंट नहीं, उनके खिलाफ कंप्लेंट नहीं फाइल कर रहे हैं।
शुरुआती जांच में ऐसा बोला गया था कि जो मेन 6 ही नाम आ रहे थे, जिसमें आर्यन खान का भी नाम था। फिर जब दूसरी टीम ने जांच शुरू की, उसके बाद से जो जांच का जो दिशा है वो बदल गई अचानक से, और ये कहा जाने लगा कि आर्यन खान का इसमें रोल नज़र नहीं आता। तो चार्जशीट क्या वही रिफ्लेक्ट कर रही है जो बाद में दूसरी टीम जाँच कर रही थी, जो सामने आ रहा था?
हमारी इन्वेस्टिगेशन जो रही SIT, आपको ये पता होगा कि 6 नवंबर 2021 को कॉन्स्टिट्यूट की गई थी, और हमारी जो जांच रही है बिल्कुल एक निष्पक्ष जांच रही है, बिल्कुल ऑब्जेक्टिव हमने काम किया है। और हमने जो प्रिंसिपल एक होता है टच स्टोन ऑफ प्रूफ बियॉन्ड रीजनेबल डाउट, उसको अप्लाई किया है, और इस टच स्टोन पे हमने ये पाया है कि 6 लोगों के खिलाफ हमें सफिशिएंट एविडेंस और प्रमाण नहीं है। तो हमने ये कंक्लूड किया कि हम इनके खिलाफ कंप्लेंट फाइल नहीं करेंगे।
And this is India Today exclusive. We earlier spoke to the NCB officer who had arrested Aryan Khan, Sameer Wankhede. Listening to what he had to tell us when we asked him what does he think of the clean chit that has been given to Aryan Khan now that the spotlight is on him.
समीर वानखेड़े जी, नारकोटिक्स कंट्रोल ब्यूरो की टीम ने चार्जशीट दाखिल कर दी है। आर्यन को उसमें क्लीन चिट देने की बात कही जा रही है, उसके खिलाफ चार्जशीट दाखिल नहीं हुई है। क्या कहना है आपका? आपने पूरा मामला देखा था।
सॉरी, मुझे कुछ नहीं कहना है। नो एनसीबी, प्लीज हैव द रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ।
समीर वानखेड़े जी, नारकोटिक्स कंट्रोल ब्यूरो की टीम ने चार्जशीट दाखिल कर दी है। आर्यन को उसमें क्लीन चिट देने की बात कही जा रही है, उसके खिलाफ चार्जशीट दाखिल नहीं हुई है। क्या कहना है आपका? आपने पूरा मामला देखा था।
Sorry. मुझे कुछ नहीं कहना है. No more in NCB. Please ask the respected officer.
Getting us more details on this story, not just the NCB, the state government is also looking and exploring at options as far as it comes to taking action against Sameer Wankhede. Mustafa, tell us more.
Well, yes, you remember that there was an allegation which had come to light that some money was demanded as ransom for release of Aryan Khan, and Pooja Dadlani is someone from whom the ransom was asked for. Mumbai police had repeatedly summoned her, but she had not come forward to record her statement. That that is one of the links that the Mumbai police can explore, and obviously the NCB has also said that they will be inquiring as to why, if there was no evidence prima facie against Aryan Khan, NCB officers at that point of time in Mumbai who were posted here took action against Aryan Khan and arrested him and other 5 people who have not been named in the charge sheets. So these are investigations which are going to go forward by the NCB officials, and the internal inquiry may yield some reason as to what was the reason. It was only a official oversight, or there was some conspiracy due to which this was done. Back to you.
Yes, Mustafa, apart from that, as far as the NCB is concerned, they pointed out specifically at what were the loopholes in the proof to begin with, right from the very fact that even the medical examination was not done to prove, in fact, that Aryan Khan had consumed any sort of drugs.
Well, yes, NCB has clearly and categorically stated that one of the person from whom marijuana was found, he was friend of Aryan Khan, and at that point of time, that friend had said that that drugs was not for Aryan Khan. He had also said that Aryan Khan had told him specifically not to get drugs on cruise as NCB was active, and even after taking him under custody, Aryan Khan's medical test was not done, even if the drugs which was with his friend was meant for Aryan Khan. Then why Aryan Khan's medical test was not done to prove whether he has consumed drugs or not? So somewhere the NCB officials at that point of knew that Aryan Khan has not consumed any drugs, and WhatsApp chats were also not related to the case. So it's the NCB officials who are actually pointing categorically how Aryan Khan was framed in this case, and he should not have been arrested in the first place. Back to you.
Be with us, Mustafa. We'll just come back to you for more on that. We have some reactions also that are coming in. Let's go straight to them.
When they were insisting that the bail should be refused to Aryan, they were saying that he's a part of a big cartel of drug import and dealing. That was the worst thing you could ever say to a boy who happens to be the son of one of the richest actors in the world. So why would this foolish boy go in for dealing in drugs when whatever he wants is anyway available to him? That was the worst charge, and I defended it with my gut feeling. I said, this is impossible. If I go into drugs, if I'm a part of the cartel, it is possible. It is impossible for Shah Rukh Khan's son, who's got everything, to go into such a dark and dingy lane to be a part of the cartel, drug cartel. You are looking at the Colombian drug guys and all these Barbosas and Dardozas. Amazing. This was the lies they used to influence the courts to refuse him and to prolong the suffering for this little guy who had very little to do with the situation. Imagine, drug cartel. So that was very wrong. And I think there should be an apology. I don't mind if there is no investigation. But Mr. Wankhede and his associate were extremely derelict, non-compromising, using illegal means. They did all the wrong things with the super confidence. Obviously, they had the backing of some people in the government or whatever, because it's from the central agency. It was very wrong, and all sorts of lies were used. And he was made to look like some huge demon who was dealing in drugs. Terrible stuff. I was amazed and shocked. And now I'm relieved to know that all this is away and lies buried.
It is a question of...
What next? Kya yaar?
Told all the investigating officers from various branches, including NCB, NIA, CBI, ED, everybody. A lot of officers who enjoy powers under the law to arrest. Supreme Court says every word is important. To arrest, power to arrest is one thing, and exercising that power is another.
whilst you have to exercise the power of arresting without court warrant, without an order of the court, you have to be very cautious.
Sheikh is getting asked more details. He continues to be with us. Mustafa, anything that you're picking up from how the family of Aryan Khan, essentially Shah Rukh Khan's family, has reacted to all of these developments from today? Undoubtedly a great sense of relief for them.
Well, yes, there's no official reaction from the Shah Rukh Khan family, and it doesn't look like they are going to react on this issue at all. But Satish Manashinde, who was their lawyer representing Aryan Khan during the days he was behind bars, he has also released only a message saying that they are happy that the justice has been served under Sanjay Singh, who is the NCB officer, led the SIT of the NCB team. And finally, they are saying that they are happy that the truth has come out on this entire case. Since day one, they were saying that there is no case to arrest Aryan Khan. There is no evidence against him to put him behind bars for so many days. Not only NCB arrested him but opposed his bail. That's something which that was uncalled for, is something that the lawyers are saying. But officially on camera, it doesn't look like the Shah Rukh Khan family or their lawyers are going to react on this issue. But yes, it must be a big relief for them, because Aryan Khan was booked under stringent sections of harboring drugs by the NDPS Act, and now that he has been released from this charge sheet, that there has been no prosecution against him, it will be a big relief for him. Back to you.
So as far as the 14 others who've been charge sheeted in this entire case, take us to the details of the direction in which that investigation is headed vis-a-vis the international drug syndicate angle that the NCB was looking at from the very beginning.
Well, the NCB will now be prosecuting those 14 people against whom the charge sheet has been filed. The lawyers of these 14 people are saying that they are yet to get a copy of the charge sheet, after only which they can tell what are the evidences which have been placed against their clients. Yes, drugs was found, and there is always an international cartel behind drugs, because there are a lot of drugs which comes from outside India, and there is people who are procuring and peddling it. So these are things which are present in this case also. There is one foreign national who has been named as an accused in this entire case. He is yet to get a bail and come out. So these are things which will come out once the charge sheet is out. We can see what evidence has been put out against in the charge sheet against people who have been named as an accused. But yes, what the NCB's case is now is that there were drugs found with some people on the Cordelia cruise, but that was not Aryan Khan. And after the drugs were found, they have traced back it to people who had given or sold it to it, and all these people now will be prosecuted under NDPS Act.
All of these people will be prosecuted under the NDPS Act, is what Mustafa is telling us. We're getting you all the details of what has been said by the Narcotics Control Bureau as far as the press statement from today is concerned. The NCB has come out and said that they indeed admit there were errors in the first probe, and that they would be looking into how this was done. It was a shoddy probe, is what is being said by the Maharashtra government. The centre is also mulling action against Sameer Wankhede. Sameer Wankhede, meanwhile, continues to say that he has no comments and that he is not associated with this case any longer. What was the proof, essentially, that Wankhede and his team were looking at when they arrested Aryan Khan without a medical checkup? They took him into custody. There are reactions as far as politics is also concerned. The Congress has spoken about it earlier, saying that there's misuse of agencies. Listening to what Congress's Wankhede had to say.
The agencies of this country need to be now aware that they should not get misused, and they should protect the integrity of their agency institutions. Because at the end of the day, their heads are on the block. People will lose trust and are losing trust in these agencies. They should stop becoming puppets in the hands of this government.
Vidya is also getting us more details on that. In the past as well, Vidya, and now more so given that Aryan Khan has been given a clean sheet, there has been politics on this entire issue. Several political parties, including the Congress and the NCP, have come out and said that, look, this is a classic case of agencies being misused to settle scores.
That's something that the NCB will certainly be looking into. If you remember, NCB has decided to initiate a departmental inquiry against people who did it. And there are always black sheeps in any department. If there is something that has gone wrong in the system, it is for the NCB to really correct it. But it's little too far-fetched to say at the moment whether it is all because of a political angle. Because certainly, if there was a political angle, this course correction that has been done by the NCB would not really have happened. And certainly that's one of the reasons why, because they seem to have recognized that there was a problem in this, and that's one of the reasons why Aryan Khan and 5 others have not really been charge sheeted. Certainly this course correction would take a little while, but then it does seem like they are on the right path and will probably get to where they intend to go right now.
Vidya, as far as the case against the 14 others who've been charge-sheeted in this case is concerned, take us to the details of what exactly this case was and what about the international drug syndicate that was being talked about?
Well, if you remember, all those 14 people who have been charge-sheeted are the ones against whom there was very strong evidence. Either they were found with drugs on them or they were charged. For example, like that of Mohak Jaiswal, there was no drug found on him, but there were drug-related charts found on his mobile, and that's one of the reasons why he has been charge-sheeted. Similarly, like Aryan Khan, who was not found with any drug, but his friend Arbaz has been charged-sheeted. I just spoke to Arbaz's lawyer, and he very clearly said that they will be looking into all the aspects of this entire charge sheet that has been filed, and they will be taking their first steps. Because remember, Aryan Khan at this point was, Arbaz was found with small quantity, so they'll really to see as to in the charge sheet, if he has been charge sheeted, what are the allegations, under what sections he has been charge sheeted. All that will really have to be done by their lawyers. And remember, in the other, on the side, if we are talking about those people, for example, like Aryan Khan, like Avin Sahu, people like who were not found with any drug, and the charge sheet has not been filed against them. So what in their case is that the prosecution will go to the court and tells the court that because there is the court will...
We'll just try and get back to Vidya in a bit from now. Vidya was getting us details of this huge controversial matter. This was the high-profile Cordelia drugs bust case in which 14 people have been charge-sheeted, but there is a clean chit to Aryan Khan and 5 others. Remember, the NCB has said there was no proof that they were involved in drugs trafficking or consumption. As far as Aryan Khan is concerned, there's no proof of consumption as well, and that there was no international syndicate. WhatsApp conversations were not linked to Khan.